So get ready, because we're about to unleash your inner smartass today. Imagine it's game night. The smartass box is sitting there right on the table, and you are about to become the undisputed trivia champion. I mean, that's what we're diving into today. We're going to give you like a shortcut to trivia domination. So we've been digging through like a mountain of intel on this game. It's super popular. And we've got like Amazon product descriptions, hilarious customer reviews, and even some YouTube gameplay videos. And let me tell you, things get a little wild in those videos.
Well, it's fascinating how this game just embraces that no-holds-barred approach to trivia. It really taps into our competitive instincts, but like in a way that's so lighthearted and fun.
Exactly. And, we know you love a good laugh. So this one is right up your alley. I mean, you're talking about shouting out answers, landing on spaces called dumbass. And one clue even involved, wait for it, toad licking in L.A. Yes, you heard that right?
It's those unexpected, often absurd elements that just give smartass its unique charm.
Okay, so let's break down the basics. Now we know you like to jump right into the action. But even the most seasoned smartass needs a game plan. So how does this trivia showdown actually work?
Well, you got your classic trivia categories, like who, what, and where. But here's the twist. And this is where the smartassery really shines. You don't have to wait your turn to answer. As soon as you think you've got it, you just yell it out.
Oh, I can already see the chaos, and I love it. So it's not just about like knowing the answer. It's about being quick on the draw. I bet you'd be the first one shouting, wouldn't you?
Perhaps, but remember, speed isn't everything. There's strategy involved too. You got to think about those hard-ass and dumbass spaces on the game board. They add this whole layer of risk and reward. So like landing on a hard-ass space lets you answer a bonus question to rocket ahead. But dumbass, well, let's just say it might put a temporary damper on your trivia domination plans.
Oh, those dumbass spaces sound like my kind of luck.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it fun, right? Is that unpredictable, anything can happen energy that keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Exactly. And speaking of keeping things lively, the customer reviews are just packed with stories of game nights erupting into laughter. It seems like the game is almost designed to create these hilarious, memorable moments.
Okay, so we've got speed, we've got strategy, and we've got enough laughs to rival a stand-up comedy show. I mean, what more could you ask for in a game night? But let's dig a little deeper. Why does this game resonate so strongly with people?
Well, beyond the fast-paced gameplay and like the sheer volume of trivia, there's something about the game's attitude that really appeals to people. It encourages you to be a little bit bolder, a little bit sassier, and, not take yourself too seriously.
It's like giving permission to let that inner smartass outright. And based on the reviews you shared, people seem to relish that freedom. They talk about how the game leads to tons of laughs and minimal downtime, which we know is something you value.
Absolutely. In a world that often feels too serious, smartass offers this chance to let loose, embrace your competitive spirit, and just have a good time.
And speaking of letting loose, did you see that gameplay video where someone correctly guessed dragon after hearing only 2 clues? They didn't even need to wait for the part about melting steel with their fiery breath.
That's a perfect example of how smartass rewards both knowledge and intuition. It's about trusting your gut and going for it, even if it means risking a dumbass space landing.
That's what I admire about the game. It encourages you to take risks, to think on your feet, and to embrace the unexpected. And sometimes those risks lead to the most hilarious moments, like that clue about toad licking in L.A. Who even knew that was a thing, let alone illegal?
Right. It's those bizarre laugh-out-loud moments that make smartass so memorable.
Well, there goes my weekend plans in L.A. But seriously, it's that blend of trivia strategy and pure silliness that seems to make this game a winner.
It really is a unique blend, and it kind of makes you wonder, can we actually apply the lessons of smartass to real life?
Ooh, that's where it gets really interesting. So is there something to be learned from this game beyond just trivia and toad-licking laws? I'm all ears.
Think about it. Those hard-ass spaces, those unexpected challenges, they're not so different from the curveballs life throws our way.
I like where you're going with this.
The game teaches you to embrace uncertainty, to be comfortable with not having all the answers right away. And sometimes taking a risk, even if it means landing on a metaphorical dumbass space, can lead to unexpected growth.
So you're saying smartass is like a training ground for real-life smartassery, like learning to think on your feet, trust your gut, and maybe even inject a little humor into those tough situations.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance between confidence and humility, knowing when to be assertive and when to listen and learn.
That's a great point. It's like in smartass, shouting out an answer is encouraged, even celebrated.
Yeah.
But in like a work meeting, maybe a slightly more nuanced approach is required.
Precisely. The game helps you hone those instincts, to read the room and adapt your smartassery accordingly.
So we're learning about trivia strategy and AD life lessons. This deep dive is full of surprises.
It is. And speaking of surprises, let's talk about some of the most outrageous and hilarious smartass moments we found in the research.
Oh yes, spill the tea. I live for those ridiculous trivia nuggets.
Well, one that stands out is from a YouTube gameplay video, where a player correctly guessed Los Angeles based solely on the clue, licking a toad here is illegal.
Wait, seriously, licking toads is illegal in LA? I need to update my travel itinerary.
Apparently so. It's those little bits of bizarre trivia that make smartass so entertaining. And speaking of LA, another clue revealed that the famous Hollywood sign originally read Hollywoodland. Even seasoned travelers can learn a thing or two from this game.
See, I knew there was a reason I packed my trivia game. Knowledge is power. Especially when it comes to avoiding accidental toad-licking charges.
Indeed. And it highlights another important aspect of the game. It's not just for smartasses, it's for everyone. The customer reviews mentioned a wide range of difficulty levels. So whether you're a trivia buff or just starting out, there's something for you.
That's what makes it perfect for game night. Everyone can join in the fun regardless of their trivia expertise. Speaking of which, if this deep dive has sparked your trivia enthusiasm, you might be wondering, what other games scratch that same smartass itch?
That's a great question. And yes, there are definitely other games that capture a similar spirit, either through fast-paced gameplay or the types of trivia questions they feature.
Okay, give us the inside scoop. What are some games that could satisfy our newfound craving for smartass trivia?
Well, if you love that fast-paced, anyone-can-answer energy of smartass, you might enjoy Buzz Time Trivia. It's like a classic bar trivia game that uses those handheld buzzer systems.
Buzz Time. I've seen that in action. It's pretty intense. Everyone's buzzing in, trying to outsmart each other. It's definitely got that competitive vibe.
Exactly. And it often involves teams, which adds a whole other layer of strategy and, let's be honest, potential for some epic trash talk.
Oh, the trash talk. I can already picture it now. We're going to crush you with our superior knowledge of 80s hair metal bands.
I can see you leading the charge there, with a microphone in one hand and a trivia card in the other.
Hey, a trivia master can dream right. So what about games that are a little less about speed and more about like cleverness and wordplay?
Well, Codenames is a fantastic example. It's not strictly trivia, but it involves like giving clues and guessing, trying to connect with your teammates while outsmarting your opponents.
Ooh, Codenames. That's a good one. It's all about making those subtle connections, reading between the lines, almost like a spy exchanging secret messages.
Exactly. And just like smartass, it requires you to think outside the box and see things from different angles. It's a different kind of mental agility, but just as engaging.
So we've got the fast-paced buzzer action, we've got the clever clue giving. Any other options for those who like to, flex their mental muscles?
Of course. For the true trivia buffs who enjoy a more classic approach, there's always Jeopardy! Now, it's not a board game you can play at home, but there are plenty of Jeopardy!-themed card games and apps that capture that same spirit.
Jeopardy! The ultimate test of knowledge. I can already hear the theme music in my head and feel the pressure of that final Jeopardy! Round.
And if you're a fan of wordplay and maybe a little bit of deception, Balderdash is a classic. It's all about making up definitions for obscure words and trying to fool your friends.
Balderdash. Now that's a trip down memory lane. I love how it combines vocabulary with creativity.
Yeah.
And a healthy dose of smartassery. It's like a battle of wits disguised as a dictionary game.
Indeed. And it proves that smartassery comes in many forms. It's not just about knowing the answers. It's about how you use your creativity and maybe even a bit of cunning to navigate the game.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the hilarious absurdity of smartass to the strategic brilliance of Codenames. But before we wrap up, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier. Those hard-ass and dumb-ass spaces in smartass, they really add a layer of unpredictability, don't they?
They do. Those spaces are like little reminders that life and trivia are full of surprises. You can strategize all you want, but sometimes you just have to roll with the punches and embrace the unexpected.
And sometimes those unexpected twists lead to the biggest laughs, especially when someone lands on a dumbass space and has to watch everyone else race ahead. It's all part of the fun.
Absolutely. It reminds us not to take ourselves too seriously, to find joy in the absurdity of it all. After all, games are meant to be enjoyed, not just won.
Well said. So to all our listeners out there, we encourage you to gather your friends, grab a game, and let the laughter and smartassery commence. Whether you're a trivia whiz or just starting out, remember, it's all about having fun and embracing those moments of playful competition.
And who knows? You might just discover a hidden talent for quick thinking, clever clue giving, or even a touch of that signature smartass wit. Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and most importantly, keep playing.
Game on.
And now for a non-sponsored, totally fake advertisement from this episode's non-sponsors.
Speaking of smartasses, boy, have we got a product for you.
All right, I'm interested, so tell me more about this product.
So today we're going to deep dive into a product sent in by a listener. And, well, get this, it's called Ass Munch Spicy Trail Mix.
Wow. Okay, that's certainly a name.
Yeah, no kidding. They definitely went for it.
So is this like a joke product or?
Oh, yeah, it definitely seems like a gag gift.
Okay, so what's the packaging like for this ass munch?
You guessed it. It's got a donkey on it. This like funny cartoon donkey.
All right, a donkey makes sense.
Yeah, and it's being marketed as like the perfect Christmas gift for your husband, or, just like edible gifts for men.
So they're going for a specific target audience, I see.
For sure. But honestly, I think anyone who, likes a good laugh would appreciate this.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love a good gag gift, right? Especially around Christmas.
Exactly. And the best part is it's actually trail mix. So, it's something you can actually enjoy eating.
Okay, so let's down to the nitty gritty here. What's actually in this ass munch trail mix?
Well, you've got your standard trail mix stuff, spicy peanuts, almonds, pepitas, corn nuts.
Okay, pretty typical so far.
Right, but then it gets interesting.
Oh, do tell.
They threw in chili lemon sticks.
Okay.
And some hot Cajun sticks.
All right, keeping it spicy.
Right. But, and here's the kicker, they also have guacamole bits.
Guacamole bits? I mean, I love guacamole, but in a spicy trail mix, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting choice.
It's like they were going for a spicy trail mix and then just like threw a curveball in there at the last minute.
Exactly. But hey, maybe it's some kind of, genius flavor combination that we haven't discovered yet.
You never know. Sometimes the weirdest combinations turn out to be the best.
True. But you gotta give them props for creativity at least.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the name alone, Ass Munch, that's gonna get people's attention.
Right, like you see that on a shelf, you're gonna stop and look at it.
Yeah, you kind of have to know what it is, right?
Exactly. It's like they're really leaning into the whole, gag gift novelty aspect of it.
Absolutely. And from a marketing perspective, it's pretty brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely memorable.
It is. And in a world full of like boring snack brands, maybe that's what it takes to stand out.
I think you're right. It's like they're not afraid to be bold.
Exactly. It's a risky strategy, but it seems to be working for them.
Yeah, I mean, clearly people are talking about it, right?
They are. So, you got to respect that. At least they're doing something different.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to be just another like generic trail mix on the shelf?
Right. You got to have a hook. And Ass Munch definitely has a hook.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of curious to see what people are saying about the taste.
Oh, yeah. That's the important part, right? Like,
yeah.
It's funny and all, but is it actually good?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's dive into some customer reviews and see what people are saying about the Ass Munch experience.
All right, let's do it. Let's see if this trail mix lives up to its name. So I was looking through the reviews, and it seems like a lot of people are actually really enjoying this Ass Munch.
Really? Like they actually like the taste?
Yeah, for real. Like one person said their family loved it, said they have a pretty childish sense of humor.
That makes sense. I mean, the name alone is pretty hilarious.
Right. Like you're gonna get a good laugh out of it no matter what.
So it's a win-win. You get a laugh and some tasty trail mix.
Exactly. And, it's not just about the joke. People are saying it's actually really good trail mix.
Like high quality ingredients and all that.
Yeah, I mean, they're not skimping on the quality just because it's a gag gift. It's made in the USA and they're using, premium ingredients.
Well, that's good to know. I mean, I'd be a little hesitant to eat something called Ass Munch if it wasn't, like, actually good quality.
Right. You don't want to sacrifice taste for a laugh.
No, definitely not. So it sounds like Gears Out is doing a pretty good job with this whole Ass Munch thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely onto something. They've got the humor, the quality, and they're clearly reaching their target audience.
You mentioned Christmas earlier. And it's funny because I could totally see this being like the perfect stocking stuffer.
Oh, absolutely. It's like the ultimate gag gift for the holidays.
Right. Like everyone's gathered around opening presents and then someone pulls out a bag of Ass Munch.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious. Especially if they have to read the name out loud.
Okay, but seriously though, putting the joke aside for a second, do you think those guacamole bits actually work? like in a spicy trail mix.
I don't know. I'm still on the fence about that one. It's definitely the wild card in this whole mix.
Yeah, it's like, how did they even come up with that idea?
Right. Like, was it a mistake? Did they just accidentally drop some guacamole in there and decide to roll with it?
Or maybe it's like a stroke of genius, like a flavor combination no one else has ever thought of before.
I guess there's only one way to find out.
We got to try it for ourselves.
Right. Let's do a taste test. See what this ass munch is all about.
Okay, let's do it. We'll be right back with our verdict. Don't go anywhere.
All right, so we're back, and we have officially taste tested the ass munch.
You know, I have to admit, I was a little skeptical going in, but I am pleasantly surprised.
Me too. I wasn't sure what to expect with those guacamole bits, but they actually kind of work.
They really do. It's like this burst of creamy avocado flavor in the middle of all the spicy, salty goodness.
Yeah, it's like a totally unexpected flavor combination, but it's actually really good.
I know, right? It's like they took a risk and it paid off.
Totally. You know, we've talked a lot about the humor and the novelty of this product, but it's actually like a really well-made trail mix.
Oh, absolutely. The quality of the ingredients is definitely there. It's not just like a cheap gag gift.
Right. And that's what I think is so smart about their whole marketing strategy. It's like they're not just relying on the joke, they're actually delivering a quality product.
Exactly. It's like they're appealing to, multiple audiences at once. You've got the people who are buying it for the laugh. Right. And then you've got the people who are like actually looking for a good, tasty trail mix.
And both groups are going to be happy because it delivers on both fronts.
And honestly, I think that's what makes it so successful. It's like, it's not just a one-time joke. It's something that people will actually want to buy again.
Definitely. It's like, you might buy it for the novelty the first time, but then you realize it's actually really good and you buy it again because you genuinely enjoy it.
Exactly. So, gears out. They're doing something right here. They figured out a way to combine humor and quality in a way that really works.
They have. And, it's not just about the product itself. It's also about the message they're sending.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, I think Ass Munch is kind of like a reminder to not take life too seriously.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to be a little bit silly, have some fun.
Exactly. We're all so busy and stressed these days. I think we could all use a little more ass munch in our lives.
Okay, but maybe not literally, right?
Right. Maybe not literally, but you know what I mean.
I do. It's about embracing the absurd, finding the humor in everyday life.
Exactly. And I think that's a really valuable message, especially these days.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive into the wonderful, hilarious, and surprisingly delicious world of Ass Munch.
It's been a wild ride, that's for sure.
It has. But hey, we learned a lot, we laughed a lot, and we even tried some pretty good trail mix.
What more could you ask for, right?
That's right. So to all our listeners out there, if you're looking for a unique, funny, and actually tasty gift this holiday season, you know what to do.
That's right. Ass Munch Spicy Trail Mix. You won't regret it.
And hey, maybe it'll even inspire you to embrace your inner smartass a little bit more.
Couldn't hurt, right?
Couldn't hurt at all. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.